Welcome back in. We know what happened in 5 Points South shouldn't be happening in our cities. Innocent people just out trying to have a good time were caught in the crossfire of what police believe was a targeted shooting against one victim. Joining us now is among the 17 people who were wounded but survived that shooting. Gabriel Islami is joined by his father, Mo, as Gabriel is recovering at home. Gabriel, good to have you with us this morning. I'm glad you're okay.
All right, man. Thank you. I'm blessed to be here. I'm lucky to be alive, honestly.
I know, and first, I know the trauma for you has got to still be raw, but just tell us where you were Saturday night. What do you remember about what happened?
Yeah, so we were standing in line, kind of towards the back of the line. It's a pretty long line, and out of nowhere, just automatic gunshots just go off, and as I'm running, I get hit. I go down, and as I kind of look back, I just see there's just people laid out on the pavement. Gun smoke in the air, and one of my friends came back for me and rushed me to UAB, and that honestly saved my life.
So what did that sensation feel like? I mean, how bad did you think you were hit at the time?
Honestly, it didn't even register when I first got shot that I had gotten shot because you hear about it, but you're like, there's no way like I'd get shot, But in that moment, I was in pure survival mode, so I didn't even really have time to worry until I knew I was at the hospital and I was safe.
Well, I know it was a very chaotic scene, but where were you wounded?
So I got shot in my left buttocks, and it came through my thigh, went
All the way
straight through,
through,
all the way through.
from across the street, somebody firing.
About, yeah, roughly maybe 100 feet.
Wow. All right, so you mentioned, you touched on the fact that you looked back and saw the sidewalk. Describe that chaotic scene.
I don't even know, like, it was like a horror movie. I mean, there's just people's shoes, they ran out of their shoes, there's, phones, wallets. Of course, I saw the deceased laying there on the pavement with the gun smoke wavering over. It looked like a Friday the 13th scene, honestly. It was madness.
Has it been difficult for you to sleep? I mean, with all that in your brain?
A little bit. It has. I keep that one image of me looking back keeps replaying over in my head, and of course the pain it's there, but compared to other people, I'm blessed, honestly.
All right. Well, I know you're still there. Your father Mo is sitting right next to you. You might have to pan over the phone a little bit.
Yeah.
Joining us by FaceTime, Mo. I know that is a call that every parent dreads. How did you find out what happened to your son Gabriel? What was that like for you?
I was actually driving on I-65 at the moment, and my phone went off. I saw him calling, and at first I thought it was just a phone call saying, "Hey, I'm at so and so place. We're having a good time." But I answered the phone, and the first words I heard were, he said, "Dad, I've been shot," and his friend was taken to the hospital. He was in the car, and I could hear all kinds of commotion in the background and everything. And luckily, I wasn't far from the UAB hospital itself. I was on the 6th Avenue South exit, and we got there real fast.
And I know our viewers couldn't see it there. Mo, understandably, you getting emotional there, just recounting that. When you got to the emergency room, and you and I texted briefly after that, what did you witness at that scene?
So I got there just after 11 o'clock. And at that time, there weren't too many people there. There was maybe 50 or 60 people gathered. And right as I got there, I started seeing ambulances coming one after another. And I would say within maybe 10 minutes or 15 minutes, there were over 200 people gathered in front of the emergency room.
When you look over at your son right now, what are your emotions?
I mean, undescribable. I mean, I still can't believe this happened to begin with. And I just keep reliving the moment that I got the phone call. And I'm just glad he's here, because when I finally had a chance to go into the emergency room and check on him, I saw bed and gurney after gurney after gurney of young kids just laying there,
Good.
and blood everywhere. And I'm just glad he's here because no one knew who would survive, and from that scene.
Right, and we should, I mean, our prayers, our thoughts go out to those who are also still recovering, including you, Gabriel. Gabriel, as we wrap up here, will you still continue to go out in the Birmingham area, or does this incident, make you give pause, and are you apprehensive?
I'm pretty apprehensive. I used to go downtown a lot to visit, Uptown, Top Golf, and now it's just kind of like I don't really have to. I can stay in, other areas of the city and have just as much fun. And it's just gotten worse over the years, over the months. This has gotten worse, and I think I'm gonna stay away for a little bit.
All right, that is Gabriel Islami and his father, Mo. Gabriel recovering from being wounded in that shooting at 5 Points Saturday night. Gabriel, glad you're okay. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it.
All right, we'll be right back.
Awesome. All right, man.